some of us remember the day the inauguration happened. It was kind of a mystical day. It was raining, and my experience that day was I was like really literally floating. Lot of people all over the country came and wanted to get darshan of Swamiji. This was the first temple he did, so everybody wanted to see and witness this. And I myself, if you ask my experience, it was like a very mystical day. It was like raining. It was like the cosmos was showering. And Swamiji came in, and it was really a sight to see how he has energized the deities and did the pradishta, that day. And a lot of people that day, later on they told me they had mystical experiences. Like this one person says, the Abhishekam water, when it fell on him, he said that he had a Satori experience. So like this is beautiful experiences. People, I'm sure each one, if I can call and ask, they'll all have their own experiences. Just like I was feeling, I was floating. I was not even standing on the ground. I was just literally floating. It was the joyous experience, the inauguration of our temple. And the best thing was Swamiji was there for a week. It was kind of a week of celebrations we had.
I'm Chirantana from the US, living in the US for about 20 years now. And I first met Swamiji in 2009 October. For those of us we are born Hindu, but we don't have an understanding about why we do what we do. So many of the ritualistic practices or the traditions, so much of understanding he brings to us and validates it with the scientific evidence and the Vedic scriptural references, and he gives us so much of clarity, whether it is the temple architecture, the pujas, the rituals, or very day-to-day societal topics and highly debated topics, whether it is the caste system or whether it is abortion. So many things in the Vedic tradition has become so rich. It has become so full of life after meeting Swamiji, and it is such a joy now and the pride and the understanding behind the meaning behind the lifestyle that we are living. It has made it such a joy to be born a Hindu, so much of pride to be a Hindu.
If you perceive yourself to be consciousness, then how is it that you don't become the consciousness? It's only that you become like an attribute of the consciousness.
What I feel is you can never perceive consciousness. Like for example, now what I think is consciousness is like Swamiji or Shiva, but even they are like Ishvara. They're not like ultimate consciousness. So what I feel is when we Ishvara can just lead us to Isha. So instead of trying to visualize, which we can't visualize, the ultimate consciousness, just through Ishvara like Swamiji or Shiva, you can just lead yourself to ultimate Isha.
What I think is that when Tattva Maharaj said, you can't actually perceive the whole consciousness, but you can perceive a part of it, which would be its attributes. When you start living on those attributes and basically aligning your life to that, what I think is your perception will start expanding, and you'll just be able to experience that you're the whole consciousness.
Then I have a question. If we have to experience consciousness, then does that mean we have to go beyond our mind? Because whenever mind is there, whatever we understand as consciousness, it's already shifted in the mind, right? So for us to experience Ishvara or Isha, should we go beyond mind?
What I feel is, if you want to become the pure consciousness, you have to go beyond that mind, because you can't have any perception when you become the consciousness. Only if you want to go to the level of Ishvara, then you need to have a perception about the consciousness, which you'll have when you have an idea about the consciousness. That time it becomes a truth in you, and that truth, when you start living it, you become Ishvara. But to become Isha, you need to drop your mind. Swamiji told today that when you see all the possibilities of life, you'll experience lots of joy. So what did Swamiji mean by saying the possibilities of life?
Adding to that point, in one recent satsang, Swamiji said, even if life is even saying something and you hear it, it's like life is telling you that you can also do that and seeing a possibility in you. So knowing that you're Shiva and like everything is possible for you and you can do as much as Shiva can do, just knowing that is seeing life as a possibility.
What I think Swamiji meant by saying life is a possibility is basically not binding yourself with the impossibility you have towards life. Basically, knowing that you have so many things and so many possibilities in life that you can achieve, and basically like not binding yourself to one thing. Just knowing that you are everything and you can do everything is what I think Swamiji meant by possibility of life.
I know for me the hardest hit I got from consciousness about whatever you are afraid of losing was when my son was 2 years old. He was kidnapped, and as soon as I realized he had been taken, people rallied and we called the police, and while all this chaos was going on, a deep stillness settled in me. I had been meditating for years. I hadn't connected with Swamiji yet, but I was in the Vedic tradition, and a voice showed up in my head and it said, "He doesn't belong to you." And I realized that my whole world was rotating around this little 2-year-old, and he wasn't mine, he belonged to consciousness. And so I remember making a deal, and I said, if you bring him back, I understand I'm just his guardian. He's not mine, he's yours. And whenever he wants to leave, I'll let him go. I won't cling to him. And he was back within hours. And it was the most profound experience I'd ever had, because I literally made a deal with consciousness that it had taken what was most important, but it gave it back. And so when my son did announce that he was leaving, there was no thought of clinging to him or not letting him go or talking him out of it, because I knew he belonged to consciousness.
Actually, I'd shown the horoscope of my Purvashram second son, and they said that till the age of 6, there is some kind of a Gandam, they call it, that he might, die by the age of 6 if I don't do some pujas and things like that. And at 1.5 years of age, I was asked to go to Chidambaram, and that is a Shiva temple, and there we were supposed to chant the Rudram 1008 times with all the Shivacharyas, and I was asked to actually keep the baby down and offer the child to Shiva and then take him back. Okay, it is like actually this is, I don't own him and he is yours, and I will take care of him till such time as till it is required for me to take care. So it was practically what you have gone through. I went through also from a different space altogether, and it was a deep understanding for me at that time that I'm only his guardian. It was an extreme beautiful blossoming, because that child I could have clung on to like anything, because I did find that there were some issues which I had to really deal with on a very different note as far as he was concerned. It could have put me in depression and him because of that. But because this thing actually came in, my understanding was so beautiful. I was just moving along. When he was expanding, I was also expanding. I enjoyed his growth after that, because there was something where I let go completely and gave him to the ultimate, that he was there to take care of him,
Place where the Pondicherry ashram is, it's a 2000-year-old temple. It's a temple from Chola period. So the moment I started the Shivoham process, the original energizing done by Karuvurar woke up. That very energy field woke up, because energy field cannot be killed even if the deity is removed and the temple is removed. The energy field continues to exist as long as the Garbha is there, as long as that is there. Energy field cannot be removed. And in Pondicherry ashram still that is there. 8 Garbha is there inside. Means 8 Garbha mandirs Garbha is inside, it is there. So the moment I started the Shivoham process, all the 8 garbhas came to life. It has come back to life. Now it is like a 9 Shivoham process going on. All these 8 supporting me. That is why whether those fellows sat inside the hall, outside the hall, everyone was chanting. One is in the center of the road and the other things are all around. One is exactly below the Garbha Mandir where I have installed Mahadeva. Now in Varanasi, when I am going to do Shivoham process, I don't know how many Garbhas are going to wake up. Because it is all around. Very conveniently, I can say at least 200 Garbhas are there in the Varanasi. At least 200. Very conveniently, comfortably, I can say.